Hello and welcome to a Cogent training session. In this tutorial today I'll be taking you through the NEC SV9100 handsets. We'll start off with basic call control, followed by some advanced features like setting up a conference call, programming in personal speed dials and managing your voicemail box. In some circumstances you may find there's a variation to what you learned today. This is because each site can be customised. So now I'd like to take you through some of the keys that you'll actually utilise on your 24-button NEC handset. So we have our hold button for putting a call on hold, transfer for transferring a call, whether it be an internal call or an external call, speaker button for hands-free, your navigator key here, so the up and the down is to control your handset and your ringer volume. To the left-hand side you have a redial button, which you're able to scroll through the last 10 numbers. Then on the right-hand side of the navigator key, you have a little phone book. That's to access your company speed dials that have been programmed in by the operator. Moving up the phone, you've got a mic button here, which is illuminated at the moment. Now that means if you use your speakerphone, the caller can hear you. When you press the key, the light goes off and it means that the caller can't hear you. So it's basically a mute button. The feature button you'll find is used for programming, so when I take you further into programming of speed dials, you'll see how you utilise that key. You have a whole lot of one-touch keys here. Now these one-touch keys are either used for programming in features of the phone system, they could be extensions as we have here, or if you have any spare keys, you may use them as one-touch speed dials. Further up the phone you've got some soft keys. These soft keys correspond to the words that are on the screen. Now these words do change dependent on what's happening with the phone system at the time, but the buttons here correspond. On the left hand side here you have an exit button, which you'll use when you're programming in speed dials as well. On the right hand side you have a help key. So if you're not sure of what's programmed underneath the key, you're able to press the help button followed by the button, and it'll tell you on the screen what's been programmed under that button. To make a telephone call, you can either do that with the handset up or down. To dial an outside number, it's 1 for an outside line followed by the telephone number. If you're wanting to ring an internal party, the extension may be pre-programmed onto one of your one-touch keys, so it's just a matter of pressing the button to dial the person, or you can use the keypad. For outside numbers you can also utilise the speed dials. So you've got personal speed dials and you've got system speed dials. I'd just like to show you how to access a system speed dial. So coming down to the phone book that we have here, I'll press the button. And now I enter in the letter of the company that I'm after. So I'm going to enter in C for Cogent. So you pressed the 2 button until C comes up on the screen. I'm now going to arrow down, and I could scroll through my numbers. Once I've got the number on the screen, I could either press dial, which will dial it on speakerphone, or I could lift the handset, and that would make the call. Now while we're doing this, I'd just like to show you how you can swap to speakerphones. So if I press the speaker key and hang up, the call goes on to speakerphone.
Choose from one of the following.
I could lift the handset to then take it off speakerphone. So it's quite easy to actually swap between the two. To answer a call on your NEC phone system, you can either do it through the handset or through the speaker button, which I'd just like to demonstrate to you now. Okay, so I could just lift the handset and I'd be connected to the call, or I could press the speaker key. And just remember, we're using hands-free, so I need to make sure that my mic's on so that the caller can hear us. From this point, I could take it off speakerphone if I want to. When you're on a telephone call, the call key will light up green. If you need to put the call on hold, the little red button down here will put the call on hold by pressing the button. I can then either leave the handset to the side or put the handset in the cradle. And as you can see, the call key is flashing here. To get the call back, I lift the handset and press back into the call key. When you're on a call, the call key will light up green. When we want to transfer the call, you can either use a pre-programmed extension button, or if you don't have all the extensions programmed on your phone, you can use the transfer key here. So I'm going to demonstrate both to you. Now, when you're transferring a call, you press the button. At this point, I could announce the call, or I could press back into the call key, and that will bring the call back to me. So 800. So rather than announcing it, I'm just going to pop the call straight through. So you can see on your screen you've got transfer. Using your soft key, press transfer, and that completes the transfer. Now if I need to get the call back, I can still do that by pressing back into the call key. Now you can do this until the call's been answered by the party that you've transferred the call to. If I'm not using a one-touch key, I can come down here and press my transfer button. Then dial in the extension number and complete the transfer by pressing transfer, or again I could pull the call back by pressing back into the call key. Setting up a conference call, you can have multiple parties. Now this is dependent on how many lines you have on your phone system and how many call keys have been configured. So I'm now going to demonstrate how to do a conference call. So we've got our first caller on the line. I'm going to press the soft key corresponding to conference. I'm going to dial in another number. Okay, and I'm now talking to them, and I want to bring someone else into the call. So this time it could be an external party. So I'm going to press the soft key under add. I'm going to go 1 for an outside line, followed by the telephone number. Once they answer, I can talk to them without the other party hearing. Press add, and I could add another person in, or I could press the soft key corresponding to begin. And now we've brought all parties together for a conference call. Your engineer may have configured a couple of buttons on your phone, a busy no answer to voicemail and a forward to voicemail. To activate these, it's just a matter of pressing the key. So once you press the key, it illuminates so that you know that it's on. So your busy no answer to voicemail means you should have this on all the time when you're actually in the office. It means if you're busy on the phone and if someone rings you, it'll go straight to your voicemail box. Or if you don't answer your phone after so many rings, it will also drop into your voicemail box. Now if you're in a meeting or you don't want to be disturbed or maybe on annual leave, you might want to put your forward to voicemail on. So it's just a matter of pressing the key. And as you can see, the busy no answer to voicemails come off. Now our phone won't ring, it'll go straight to voicemail. When we come back, we press the forward to voicemail key, and you can see the busy no answer to voicemails come back on. Now don't be concerned, if you don't have these keys, you can actually set it by dialing a code. So the busy no answer code is *13, and then I could go 0 to cancel, as you can see on the screen. And that's taken the busy no answer off. If I want to put it back on, it's just a matter of dialing, I'll just hang up on that, *13, 1 to set, and then voicemail's extension number. Now voicemail's extension number is 888. And then press speaker. So as you can see, I've turned my busy no answer back on. For my forward all, if I wanted to turn my forward all on, I could go *10, which is the forward all code, 1 to set, followed by voicemail's extension number, which is 888. And then press speaker. And now you can see that I've got my forward to voicemail button on. Now we've been sending the calls through to 888, but you can send them through to a colleague if you wanted to. So you could go *10, 1 for an outside line, and then your colleague's extension number. Programming unpersonal speed dials into your phone, you have 10 numbers that you're able to enter. They start from 1 through to 9, and 0 being speed dial number 10. So I'm just going to demonstrate how to enter in a speed dial. By pressing the soft key directly under program, I then press it's a station speed dial. I'm going to enter in my speed dial number. So I'm going to choose 5. I'm then going to go 1 for an outside line, followed by the telephone number. So once I've entered that in and I'm happy with it, I'm going to press the hold key. I can then name that speed dial, so coming down to my keypad, let's enter in Lisa. If I make an error, the feature key is like a back key, and that will delete the last character that you've entered. I'll just put Lisa back in. If I'm happy with that, I will press hold, and then speaker to complete. Now I've programmed Lisa in, and if I want to ring her, I would come to my soft keys. It's my directory that I'm after. It's a station speed dial, and then I would enter in L for Lisa. Okay. And then I can scroll down. Once I have Lisa on the screen, I could either press the soft key under dial, which will put it onto speakerphone, or I could lift the handset and then it will dial Lisa. Each individual is able to customise their own phone, whether it be changing your ringtone, the ringer volume, altering the screen contrast, or changing the extension name that appears on the screen. So I'd just like to show you how to do that. For the ringer tone, by dialing #39 into the phone, it comes up on the screen. So you can have a different ring for internal callers to external callers. So if I was wanting to change the internal ringtone, I would dial 1 for internal. I could then press 1 through to 8. Once you've got the ringtone that you like, you press speaker and it's then set on that ringtone. For the ringer volume, you can either use the volume keys here for when the phone's ringing, or by pressing #8 onto your phone, it will make your phone ring and then you can adjust it. When it's at the level that you'd like, you can press speaker. To change the extension name that appears on the screen, you dial #53 into your phone and press hold. Now you can enter in the name that you want to call the phone. And remember, if you make an error, your feature key is like a back key, which will take out the last character that you've entered. So I'm happy with Lisa. I press hold and then press speaker. And as you can see, I've now changed the name of that phone. To set up your voicemail, you'll need to do 2 things. One is to personalise a greeting, and the other is to set up a 4-digit security code. You may have a voicemail button on your phone that you'll be able to press to take you into voicemail. Alternatively, you will dial *88. Once in your voicemail, you'll be using these keys here, which correspond to the words on the screen, to manage your voicemail. So let's dial into our voicemail.
You have no new messages. To leave a message, press 7. For the complete main menu of features, press 0. Ready.
Right, so if I had messages, I could listen to my messages, but I want to go into my greetings. So I'm going to press the button corresponding to greeting.
The greeting that is currently active is number 1. Please enter the number 1, 2 or 3 for the greeting which is to be active. To exit this feature, press the # key. Ready.
Okay, so I'm going to record greeting 1. So I press the soft key under greeting 1.
Greeting 1 has not been recorded. To record a greeting, press 7. To exit this feature, press the hash key.
Okay, so I could be using my keypad, so I could go 7 to record my greeting. I'm just going to use the soft keys.
Start recording at the tone and press the hash key when you are done.
Hello, this is Leanne here from Cogent. I'm sorry I've missed your call. Please leave a message after the tone and I'll return your call as soon as possible.
Greeting 1 has been recorded. To listen to the greeting, press 5. To record a new greeting, press 7. To delete the greeting, press 3. To exit this feature, press the hash key. Ready.
Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to hang up. Let's say I'm going to be in a meeting or I may be on annual leave. I may want to dial in and record an alternative greeting. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to switch to a different greeting. So I'm going to press my voicemail button.
You have no new messages. To leave a message, press 77. For the complete main menu of features, press 0. Ready.
Greeting.
The greeting that is currently active is number 1. Please enter the number 1, 2 or 3 for the greeting which is to be active. To exit this feature, press the hash key. Ready.
Okay, so I'm going to press greeting 2.
Greeting 2 has not been recorded. To record a greeting, press 7. To exit this feature, press the hash key. Ready. Start recording at the tone and press the hash key when you are done.
Hello, this is Leanne here from Cogent. On Friday, I'll be out of the office until 2 o'clock. Please leave a message after the tone and I'll return your call when I get back. Thank you.
Greeting 2 has been recorded. To listen to the greeting, press 5. To record a new greeting, press 7. To delete the greeting, press 3. To exit this feature, press the hash key. Ready.
Okay, so I'm just going to hang up on that. So what's happened is it actually has stored greeting 2 and greeting 2 is activated because that was the last greeting that I've been into. Let's say I come back after 2 o'clock and I want to go back into my voicemail.
You have
Voicemail.
no messages. To leave a message, press 77. For the complete main menu of features, press 0. Ready.
Okay, so I'm going to press greeting.
The greeting that is currently active is number 2. Please enter the number 1, 2 or 3 for the greeting which is to be active. To exit this, greeting 1 has been recorded. To listen to the greeting, press 5. To record a new greeting, press 7. To delete the greeting, press 3. To exit this feature, press the hash key. Ready.
Okay, and now I've switched back to greeting number 1. It's really important to have a security code on your voicemail box. So I'm just going to demonstrate to you how easy it is to do that. Let's press the voicemail button.
You have no new messages. To leave a message, press 77. For the complete main menu of features, press 0. Ready.
I'm now going to go more. And it's my setup options that I'm after.
Welcome to the mailbox options menu. To change your security code, press 7. To change message notification, press 6. To change call handling option, press 2-6. To change the auto timestamp option, press 2-8. To change message playback order, press 1. To change the autoplay option, press 2-7. To exit this menu, press the hash key. Ready.
Now, as you can see, there's many options in there. I don't have to wait till the end of those options. At any stage, I could press the soft key corresponding to code.
Enter your new security code, or to delete your security code, press the star key. To return to the previous menu, press the hash key. Ready. Your new security code is 2580. You require that your security code be entered when calling from your personally. Your security code has been changed. Welcome to the mailbox options menu. To change...
When you have a voicemail message, you'll find that the little light up the top here will start flashing and the screen's actually changed. So it's got vMessage here to let me know that I've got a voicemail message. To dial into my voicemail, I could either press the voicemail key or I could press the soft key under vMessage.
Please enter your security code.
Okay, and then enter a security code if you have one.
You have one new message. To listen to your messages, press 5. To leave a message, press 7. For the complete main menu of features, press 0. Ready.
So using the soft keys, I can now listen to the message. Once I press listen, you'll see that I'll have the options to delete or forward the message on, pause it, rewind, all of those standard functions that you normally have with a voicemail box.
Hello, it's Lisa here. Would you be able to book me a call, please, on 919-0131? Thank you.
This message arrived today, 11.
So I'm just going to delete that message.
The message will be deleted when you exit your mailbox. To archive the message,
Okay. If I didn't delete that message, it would be archived, so it would be in there as an old message next time I dialed into my voicemail box. But the light would actually go out because it's no longer a new message. Thank you for viewing this training session. If you require further assistance, please contact our service desk on 0800 222 126 or email service@cogent.co.nz.